Let me know if you can hear me, and let me know if you can see me, because we're testing something today. And if it doesn't work out, we can always just never do this again. So if anyone's watching this now, let me know if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. And if so, this can start to become a regular thing. What I'll do is I'll just end up watching it back when I get to work. And if it's clear enough, great. We can do these whole live drive segments. If not, I'll just press record and upload later. So if anyone's watching this now, I just want to test this and ask if you can see me clearly and if you can hear me clearly. And if so, just comment that all's going well. Just give me some feedback if you're watching this. And if it works, I'll keep doing it. If it doesn't work, we don't need to do it ever again. Okay, I am going to head off to work and let's see how the day goes. Let's see more so how this thing goes here. So Inter in the market. Oh, one sec. It's telling me I need to rotate. Okay, cool. So it's better. All right, so it's better if I go vertical, yeah? I got 11 people with me now, so let me just fix it up a little bit. And if that's the case, all right, so if you guys are actually telling me that the quality on this is okay, you can hear me, you can see me, and all is good. It's not too glitchy, it's not too jumpy. You gotta know, I live out in Southwest Sydney, bro. We ain't rich out here. We don't have the best technology going around. This ain't the Northern Beaches, and this ain't the Eastern Suburbs, baby. But if you guys could hear me and see me clearly, well then we've got something new for the channel. We're live drives, and I love that. I just wanted to give a big shout out to everybody, because as you can probably tell, like, I've been very busy lately. I don't even have the energy to go home and do a live. But that's all gonna change, because I've started a new gig at work, moving up in the world, and I'll be able to work from home about 60 to 70% more starting next week. So I'm really looking forward to that, because that'll really open up the channel again. And I'm going to use that time to do members only content. I've written it down in my office. Do members only content while you're on the clock getting paid for your professional work. That doubles life up pretty well. So make sure you hit that like button. We got 14, 15 people. Bro, if this is working, this just made my last 2 commutes to school so sexy. So sexy. I hope you guys don't mind if I have a little bit of a vent. I've been in education now for 8 years. So for the last 8 years since graduating university, I've been going to school every day as an educator or as an executive. So technically, since I started at age 5, I've been going to school for 26 years now. 25 to 26 years, quarter of a century I've been at school. So I'm actually really excited to start this new adventure next week, where I get to work a little bit more corporately. And I gotta say, man, one of the biggest things I thought about was Inter Worldwide and you guys in this community, and how we can keep it growing now that I've got that extra time. So starting next week, make sure you tune in a lot more, and let's keep doing these live drives, man. So no, I love you, Mattia. I can't see one thing I can't do, and I'm gonna ask people to talk to each other in the chat. When I'm doing live drives, please don't ask me any questions. Please don't ask me any questions for safety reasons. And also, you guys don't want to know what the police are like in this state when it comes to driving. Bro, put it this way. You get done using your mobile phone driving, they will paint you in court worse than someone who goes and stabs somebody. And I might be exaggerating a little bit, but when it comes to policing in New South Wales, we are a proper nanny state. Who cares about committing an actual crime? If you've committed something petty, they're coming for you. Anyway, enough bullshit. 17 people right now to talk about the Mercato. Samazic, looking good. Scamacca, looking good. Stefano Sensi, Mr. Glassman. I mean, I gotta say, when you look at his skill set, his repertoire, his character traits, and what he brings to the technical side of the ball, Stefano Sensi as an option off the bench is a very good option off the bench. But is he going to be able to even sustain the physicality of coming off the bench? How frustrating would it be to start the season with Stefano Sensi on the bench, having him play a few good games, and then by match day 6, match day 7, he runs an injury that keeps him out till January, and all of a sudden, they're looking for loan options again. That's all I'm thinking about. If Samazic gets locked up, we've got that flexibility to shift Sensi down the pecking order. it would go something along the lines of starters, which we know Barella, Hakan, pardon me, why have I drawn a blank here? Because it's Fratesi, we just signed him. Fratesi, and then our first go-tos off the bench will be Mkhitaryan, Samardzic, and possibly Sensi. Now, something really interesting about this midfield bench for depth, this is a far cry from the midfield depth that won us the Scudetto, or that continued on from there. Arturo Vidal, Roberto Gagliardini, proper grinter merchants, proper physical grinter merchants. There ain't no technicality there. Ain't nobody was going to play a match-splitting pass through midfield, but they were going to really rustle the feathers of the other side and make sure we could close out a game. The technical side of our depth in midfield will help us close out games, but it can also help us chase games a little bit better as well. This is the sort of midfield bench that I like, that I can be proud of. I love technical midfielders. My favorite position on the pitch is a deep-lying midfielder. I could never play that position. I was horrible on the ball. In fact, that would be the worst position I could have ever played in football, but I love it. Despite playing 96% of his career at our rival clubs, Andrea Pirlo will always sort of be my favorite footballer from a passage of play point of view. Individual-wise, character-wise, and human being-wise, probably not, because he played for our rivals, but to me, Andrea Pirlo encompasses what football is from its most beautiful standpoint. We have a bench that we can really be proud of in terms of technicality, in terms of progression, in terms of holding the ball, in terms of movement. It's very techie. I haven't seen an Inter midfield this techie since I started supporting the club. What do you guys think about that? We need players. Let's go to Scamacca next, and then I'll go to goalkeepers. Scamacca for 25 is not a horrible deal, but anything more than that, and you're starting to flirt with the, are there better options available? Let's face it. If we were to get him for 2025, I wouldn't complain, because chances are we're going to pay that over a staggered amount of time. It's also important to note that Scamacca and Samardzic combined would be cheaper than Lukaku and command less of a wage. I like the look of Toro and Thuram. If Scamacca's coming in and we move on Correa for someone else, then I'll be very pleased. But to go in next season with Lautaro, Thuram, Scamacca, and Correa wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But if we are playing with a 3-5-2, we are starting to be limited once again, because Scamacca would probably do better at the head of a 4-3-3, the same way Correa would probably do better on the flank of a 4-3-3, as a left wing forward in a 4-3-3. The width in terms of attacking dimension could change if we've got Scamacca and Correa, because it does sort of allow Inzaghi to be a little bit more flexible in attack, rather than having that Toro playing off Lukaku or Toro playing off Dzeko, basically routine combination week in, week out in every competition. And it worked to an extent last season, but now it can work even better. I'm seeing reports that Sanchez will be back. We're going to have to offer him a very, very cheap salary for me to be happy with him returning. I'm a big Alexis fan. Always have been, always will be. I think he oozes technicality and class that you can't even dream of. But there needs to be something better than that. We can't just be going in with Alexis as a third choice. Not at 34 years old. Not at 34 years old. So I know that people aren't too excited for Scamacca, but I can also see people saying that yes, a 4-3-3 would be a little bit more sustainable here. Now, goalkeeper-wise, I'm also pretty stoked with Stankovic's performances. I am more than happy to have him as a backup keeper. What the hell is a backup keeper? We have gone from playing Padelli to knowing that Handanovic wasn't good enough to be a backup keeper. I'm just letting everybody know I am going through an area right now that is quite possibly one of the worst reception-wise. Can everybody please let me know, or give me a thumbs up, or rate it out of 10? What are you rating the reception here right now over the last 60 seconds and for 1 minute going forward now? I want people to let me know, because this is a bad spot. This is a spot where the entire stream's about to go down. 8, 5, So you can still sort of hear me, but it's not too choppy. Like, it's sustainable. It's still durable. All right, that's okay. Bear with me for 60 seconds and it'll start to clean up at the end of this road. Well done. Stankovic, with the ball at his feet, is not too bad. Go figure, look at who his father is and look at what position his brother plays. I don't think that we really need to go in for 2 goalkeepers. I think that we could get away with one. Could we get away with 1 goalkeeper? Is the plan to lock down summer and to make sure we get Trubin's signature for next season? I would be wary of this because, and hear me out, Trubin might be twerking for us, but he's actually not. Trubin is not in love with Inter. He is in love with his potential move to Inter. Really sexy car I'm just driving by right now. What is that? Anyway. Yeah, now it'll pick up. It'll pick up. The reception will get better now. I really think we can go into next season with Stankovic as our second choice goalkeeper. I really, really think that we can. Because they're not going to get any minutes. If Sommer's coming in for first choice goalkeeper, we probably can get away with Stankovic. However, if Sommer has a bad start, then we're looking like we're depleted. It really comes down to what management wants to do. And it really comes down to the sort of signature that they can get from Trubin. Trubin is in love with his move to Inter, not in love with Inter. So if we think that we've got an agreement in principle, or a verbal agreement, or a golden handshake, or any other of these bullshit terms that the media throw out there to act like that deals are being locked up so that they can get clicks and views, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. There is no such thing as a verbal agreement. There is no such thing as a gentleman's agreement. There is no such thing as a golden handshake. Pen, paper, that's all that matters. Ink on to chopped wood. That's all that matters. So there is no such thing as getting Trubin next year for free. Not yet. And don't be stupid and say that there is. Because as soon as he agrees to not re-sign a deal with Shakhtar Donetsk, a couple of months will go by, and pretty soon a couple of clubs that need a new goalkeeper are going to realize that one of the next big things in Europe is available for free. And that's when Paris comes out. That's when Bayern comes out. That's when not even 5 anymore. That's when 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 English teams come out. That's when Madrid and Barca come out. That's when other clubs start to get interested. And all of a sudden, the young Ukrainian playing for Shakhtar Donetsk now has a buffet to look at on the table rather than a 1-course meal. It's food for thought, legit. So we need to be careful here. Trubin, I wouldn't even say he's a 50% guarantee. You need signatures, and you can't really get signatures until June. He's locked up until June 2024. Sorry, so you can't really get signatures until January 31st. 6 months before his contract runs out, that's when it is legal to sign for somebody else. We can talk to them, but we need to be careful because there is still a massive area and loophole around taping up players. I've read that Paris wants to take Madrid to court for Mbappe. Ha! Bro, Paris tape up players more than they tape up their boots, cuz. They taped up Skriniar for a good 4 months. Nah, not happening. So we need to just make sure that this whole Trubin thing is locking up for us. The goalkeeper situation is still bleak. I'm glad we covered that. Got about 10 minutes before I get to work, so this has been really good. We'll at least get 25 minutes out of every live drive. 25 minutes. I love that. I love that. Show your appreciation. Like the video. Subscribe if you are new. And if you're enjoying it, make sure you consider becoming a channel member. I'm not too sure if I can start doing these lives for the members only, but I might consider that as well if the member section of the comment start channel. You know what? Don't sign up to be a member just yet. Just wait. Give it another week. And if you like the direction that the channel's going in, which will be a lot more content, more personalized content just from me, let me know. We also should have another face coming to the channel soon, I'm hoping. Right centre back. It's still a little bit concerning, isn't it? Darmian and Bishek, it's not going to be enough. I do still think we're in the market for a defender like a Demiral. What is it, August 3rd today? We've got about 3 weeks. The goalkeeper situation will sort itself out, I reckon, in the next week. Yo, big up Big up my brother CQ. Thank you, bro. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my G. Looking good for Milan as well, depth-wise. Few risks, few gambles, my brother. Few gambles. It's really one of those things with Milan, either going to work or it's not. Similar to when you had, you know, the Magnificent Seven, or was it the Angry Seven? Remember that year you signed Kessier, Hakan, Rodriguez, Calabria, I forget who else. Could go either way with Milan, but hey, at least Milan are moving. There are two teams in this market working, Inter and Milan, and they've been working from day one. Yes, they've had to make sacrifices, but it's because that they were so conscious of the sacrifices they needed to make that they moved quickly. Juve are in pure denial at the moment. Pure denial. Their new director has been there for a month. He has not shifted one piece of dead wood, and he hasn't done the easiest job. Bro, this guy went to a servo this morning, got the squeegee, put it on his car to like clean his car, and he's forgotten, and the squeegee is stuck to the top of his car. That is fucking hilarious. That is so funny. If I wasn't on a dangerous road, I will turn the camera around right now because it's about to slip off. It's sliding on the back. Bro, this is hilarious. This is such a good start to the morning. You know those things you go to, like your petrol station, and you dip it in the water and you clean your windshield and stuff like that? This dickheads, bro. This absolute... I fell off the car. Oh, I love Southwest Sydney. Too many busy people thinking their life is more important than the next. Southwest Sydney, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Don't forget to clean your car on the way home, champ. Yeah, and I know a lot of Juve fans who are still so dirty at Marotta that they make pathetic excuses for his work, trying to claim that it's not great. But at the bottom line is, bro, a director at the very least needs to be able to sell their prized assets, their front shop cars out of the window. You need to be able to sell your Bentleys. You need to be able to sell your Mercedes. If you're not selling the busted up Honda Accord 2005, which is what I drive, at the back of the lot, no one's going to question your ability to sell. But if you can't sell your Vlahovic's, your Chiesas, if you can't sell those players, fam, you need to make a decision quick, smart. You can't go into the season with this sort of disharmony and this sort of uncertainty in the club. Then you've got Napoli, who are basically going back to a selling club straight away. Kim is gone. I guarantee you they take the Osimhen money, and why wouldn't you? That's a masterstroke from De Laurentiis. That is a masterstroke. You palm off Osimhen for 130 million, and it's not to an Italian club, and it's not to a European club. Holy shit. Talk about a good deal for Napoli. And I know Osimhen is next level, but bruv, come on, man. He's like 3 years into his contract and you're still going to get 60 million plus Valenza for him. Get out of the house, bro. And you don't need to sell him to an Italian club, and you don't need to sell it to a European club. Bro, ADL is getting laid tonight. Not that he doesn't get laid any other night, but still, that's a masterstroke and a half. What are they going to coop 200 million from Kim and Osimhen? That's probably 120 million plus Valenza. They have the greenest books in the league, mate. I envy them. I do, because it's proper business, mate. That Napoli business is up here. I know for a fact that Sarri pissed off at Lotito, rightfully so. He got a bum-ass squad up to second. He's going to lose Milinkovic-Savic, and they're not going to replace him properly. Mourinho taking photos pretending that there's an invisible striker that they're shaking hands with. At a stab to the directors and the ownership. Guys, I know that we're angry with Suning and I know we're angry with Zhang, but we need to put some respect on our backroom staff and our directors. They are working overtime. There is no clock for Marotta and Ozilio this market. I really think everyone needs to take a step back and really applaud our directors in this market. We knew that we were going through season 3 of Damage Control. We knew that we couldn't retain every single asset on the books. We have made the assets that have left look like scrubs. Brozovic looks like a bum. Skriniar, fuck that guy, bro. I wouldn't even shake his hand if I met him in real life. Lukaku, don't get me started. The only one that left with his head held high was Andre Onana, and look at the tribute he gave us. Look at the way he went out. I know I'm pessimistic by nature and I know I'm negative, but some of you who watch the channel religiously will see this sort of shift in mentality, and that's because I'm a realist at the end of the day. I can see when things are getting better. I can see when survival mode has been activated properly. We will have a half decent season. We might not win this league. We probably won't win this league. I expect us to piss a top 4 position. I expect us to get a top 4 position very comfortably. Very comfortably. This is not going to be a match day 37-38 thing. I expect this top 4 spot to be theoretically locked up by match day 31-32, meaning we've got an 8-point, 9-point, 10-point jump, and we're just waiting for the maths to equate. Just waiting. I'm loving this stream. Everyone could go. Everyone gets a free pass this morning. Cross the road. Everyone cross the road. Everyone get a free pass this morning. I mean, it's such a good mood. Everyone cross the road. Everyone go before me. Plus, it's a good tactic in life. Always let people cross the road. Always let people through when you drive the car. Don't expose yourself to unnecessary stress and cortisol. If you want to get cranky at every little thing in the morning, the only person you can blame is yourself for having a shit mood. Start to recognize what's worth stressing over in the morning. I come from a city where the road rage is real and where people are just really vindictive for no reason. Oh well. Pat on the back to our directors. We've done a decent job. I know exactly how Mattia rolls. Trust me, I still have a lot of that. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen right to the end. We're still good. Don't worry, I'll fix that up. I literally just pulled into the car park and the thing decided to fall down. Happy days. So, just to recap, and thank you for the lovely live. What a great session it was. And what a great way to introduce new content to the channel. Noted, Anthony, make sure that your holder is not going to fall down. Might even buy a new one. And yeah. But I get what Mattia is saying. We shouldn't be satisfied with nothing less than a Scudetto. We definitely have to go for it. We have to go for it. If we don't win it on the last 2 match days of the season, of course I will be heartbroken, but you can't rage quit at that. What you can rage at, Mattia, is the way that we raged it last season. I don't regret anything. We were right. You and I were right. And anyone that was calling us pessimistic or wrong knows that we were right. Okay? I'm still getting comments and messages from people like, bro, Anthony, what are you talking about? We made the Champions League final. I'm like, bruv, we waited until match day 37 to make the group stage of the next edition. Can you imagine if we didn't? Can you imagine our Mercato if we did not lock up top 4? Mattia and I knew exactly what we were talking about, and we knew exactly what was important to this club. And I said it in a video and I'll say it again. Making top 4 was way more important than making the Champions League final. Making the Champions League final, fantastic, entertaining, great day. Making top 4 is like going into hospital and getting a blood transfusion, man. It's like going into a fucking medical facility and getting your medicine to keep you alive. That's what it was. It is time to start the day. It is time to make sure that the kids at this school in Southwest Sydney have the chance at a happy day and a happy life. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. My name is Anthony. If you liked this, I want you to start writing comments now so that I can, on my break today, go and read these comments, every single one of them, and know that it's a good idea for me to keep doing these live drives. I love it, and I'm going to keep doing it, providing you guys allow me to. All right, have a lovely day, have a lovely sleep, stay blessed. How the hell do I stop going live? Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Let's do it.